When you're weaning out a feed to sleep association, both at bedtime and overnight, we start with your day feeds. And one of the reasons is that babies that snack overnight to resettle themselves back to sleep multiple times have a tendency to then be a bit snacky during the day, particularly if they're also feeding to sleep during the day. Now, there is nothing inherently wrong with feeding a baby to sleep. I exclusively breastfed both of my babies. I understand how natural and kind of a useful tool it can be. Although I will say that I had an oversupply, and so my babies were like, "Oh, we're done with that." But I get it. But in order to break out of the cycle, you as a parent need to be really confident going into the night knowing that your baby is not genuinely hungry. And we know that at 7 months old, a baby does not need to eat every 2 hours. Do they want to? Potentially. If someone offered me a packet of Tim Tams overnight, I'd be taking it too. And not only that, they're looking for it to put themselves back to sleep. So in order for you to be confident in using any kind of sleep training or other resettling technique, your day feeds really need to matter. So this is where, let's say at 7 months old, I would have your baby on a 3-nap schedule and a 4-hourly feeding schedule so that your baby is tanking up rather than topping up. And we loosen the grip that feeding to sleep has during the day. And this is what we talk about. We have a podcast episode, my Baby Sleep podcast called Nap Trap. We have a whole episode on why, as sleep consultants, me and my co-host Beck don't recommend feeding to sleep and what to do instead. But essentially what I would tell you is that during the day, I don't mind how you get your baby to sleep. Throw the rule book out the window. We just want to get those naps in, except for feeding to sleep. We want full, active, enthusiastic feeds so that you can go into the night knowing, instead of feeding every 2 hours, I'm going to feed 4-hourly. And I'm going to either assist my baby back to sleep in a different way or use a sleep training technique at all of those other wakings that aren't a feed. Then those 2 overnight feeds become really full and active. Think of them as an investment feed to bridge you to the next 4 hours. But that's very tricky if your day feeds aren't lined up. So we reshape your day to get these full active feeds in so that you can confidently wean out a feed to sleep association at bedtime and overnight. And it usually only takes a couple of days before a baby's like, "Ooh, hang on, I get this really great big feed now," and things already start to turn a corner. But if you haven't already, go and listen to my podcast episode all about this.